Up to the sky, Christopher Daniels, Frankie Zay, collectively known as SoCal Uncensored or
SCU! This is Catch, Hook, and Shoot, the worst podcast I've ever been on. Word.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Catch, Hook, and Shoot, the best podcast you never heard of. My name's Tom. I am your host. Today is Friday, March the 3rd, 2023. I want to thank everybody for watching, listening, and subscribing on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast from. Just look up Catch, Hook, and Shoot, and you'll find the show. And you can also check out our link tree. It's linktree/Catch, Hook, Shoot, or scan this little QR code right here in the corner next to me, and you'll find links to our website, social medias, YouTube, all the podcast platforms, Pro Wrestling Tees, all that kind of fun stuff. One quick note, if you do go to the Pro Wrestling Tees store, you're going to see there's nothing on there right now. I am in the process kind of revamping our shop a little bit, going to narrow some stuff down. Just came to the conclusion I think there was just too much stuff in there for right now, so going to scale it back, narrow it down. Got some ideas for some new stuff, so keep an eye out for that, and it will most likely all be on the website shop rather than Pro Wrestling Tees, but I will let you guys know once that's all finalized and how that's going to work out, because I'm not 100% on it yet. So if you check out the shop on the website or the Pro Wrestling Tees shop right now, you're going to see they're empty, and that's intentional. So just keep an eye out for when those go back up. And if you ever want to shoot us an email, it's catchhookshoot@gmail.com. So let's dive right into everything going on this week in the wonderful, wacky world of pro wrestling, starting it off like we always do with the lead story. All right, so the lead story this week, and this has been going on for more than just this week, but saw an interesting little note about it. I think everybody knows by now, WWE's been interested in Kenny Omega, supposedly. Not sure when his contract is coming up, but I would guess it's sometime soon, since there's been so much chatter about this in recent months. But interesting story from The Torch this week from Wade Keller that it's basically saying, yes, WWE is interested, but they don't see him on the same level as Cody Rhodes as far as, drawing power and star power and that kind of stuff. I found that interesting because, this is a guy that, basically ruled New Japan and sold out the Tokyo Dome however many times and, was widely considered the best wrestler in the world for quite a long time. And, so I think, I don't know. Look at, I would kind of compare it to when AJ Styles came into WWE. I know there were a lot of people that didn't think AJ Styles would be a huge star in WWE. And they gave him an instant push when he came in, and he became a top guy pretty much right away and held the WWE Championship for over a year at one point. So, I don't think that's really a fair assessment of Omega. If he did show up in WWE, the program he could have with Cody Rhodes writes itself. So, personally, I'd love it. I'd love to see Kenny in WWE. I think there's a lot that could be done with him there. Some amazing matches to be had, with people he's never faced before. So, I'm kind of half hoping WWE does land him at some point. And obviously, Kenny's a veteran. He, who knows how many years he's got left. He's put his body through hell most of his career. So, he may not have a long time left. And he said himself, he wants to contribute to wrestling's future by helping, up-and-coming stars. And he even said, if he can help somebody get to that superstar level without going through all the pain and injury that he's dealt with throughout his career, that's what he wants to do. So, I definitely think that door is open whenever the time comes that he is available. So, I would personally I would like to see Kenny in WWE at least for a little bit. So let's keep things moving right along. Going to talk about what I think was the best match this week, and that is the match of the week. So this week's match of the week was the Face of the Revolution ladder match from AEW Dynamite, and that was won by Powerhouse Hobbs. So he gets a shot at the TNT Championship against Samoa Joe next week. That should be an awesome freaking match. But I mean, it was a good ladder match, and a multi-person ladder match. A lot of high spots. At one point, you saw. Oh my God, I can't remember. I think it was Commander. Literally walked the entire top rope and do a dive to the outside. That was it was sick. So if you haven't seen this match, go back and check it out just for that one spot. But yeah, Powerhouse Hobbs now the number one contender for the TNT Championship. They've really been hyping him up the last few months, showing the vignettes of like where he came from and that kind of stuff. So they've done a good job at building him. I think him and Joe can put on a damn good match. I mean, that's going to be just a hard-hitting slugfest between these two. So I'm looking forward to that one next week. So AEW Dynamite Face of the Revolution ladder match is the match of the week. If you have not checked it out, go back and do so. And coming up next is my top 3 moments of the week, and that's called the 3 count. First up on the 3 count this week, the Firefly Funhouse. What? I mean, if you saw it, you know exactly what I mean. It was like a bad acid trip. Not that I know what that's really like, but I can imagine. But and this is basically leading to Bray Wyatt and Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania. Bray had said before the match with Lashley and Brock Lesnar, whoever wins, you should run, his classic line. So it looks like it's going to be Bray and Bobby at WrestleMania, which should make for an interesting match. I'm very curious to see how this one's going to play out. Number 2 on the 3 count, Becky Lynch and Lita are your new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Gotta say, I'm a little bit surprised at this. This is Lita's first match back in a while. It was a good match, but you could tell. I don't know. Lita seemed maybe a half a step off. I'm sure that's ring rust. Because she hasn't had a match in a little while. But I don't know. It just seemed half a step off. Maybe just not quite. I don't know. Like I said, I chalk it up to ring rust because Lita's one of the best women's performers of all time. I take nothing away from her. It just seemed, I don't know, it just seemed off. It was almost like the match was going in slow motion at certain points. But yeah, Becky and Lita, new women's tag team champions. So, props to them. So they're going into WrestleMania as the champions. I'll be interested to see who their opponents are. I would assume it's going to be Damage Control, but who knows? We also saw the return of Trish Stratus during this match. Came out and kind of neutralized Bayley, who was running around the outside of the ring. So very cool to see Trish back on Raw. And number 3 on the 3 count, Jungle Boy. He's going to be facing Christian Cage coming up at Revolution this weekend. I'll get into that in a minute. But, Christian in the ring cutting a promo with Renee Paquette talking about Jungle Boy. And then all of a sudden we see up on the big screen a shot of Jungle Boy in a cemetery, digging a grave. And then they pull back and show the tombstone. It's got Christian's name on it. And Jungle Boy didn't say a word during the promo. So it just, it was just a very, very cool segment on the show this week. So Jungle Boy coming in number 3 on the 3 count. So getting into the more news and rumors and stuff from the weekend, or from this week I should say. Rey and Dominic Mysterio, this story is still continuing to build. It's obviously building to WrestleMania. That's something that's been talked about for a long time, is Rey versus Dominic at Mania, most likely for the mask. That was kind of hinted at the Royal Rumble. But Dominic did cause Rey to lose to Karrion Kross this week. And then Dominic just, after the match, just getting in his father's face, pushing him and slapping him. And Rey, got the fist cocked back, but just couldn't swing on his son. I mean, that's real. Speaking as a father, I don't know that I could take a swing at my son like that, even if he was doing some stuff like that. I know a lot of people are going to say, "Oh, I beat the crap out of that kid." If you're a parent, no, it's not that simple. So I think they're playing this one very, very well. Yeah, we saw Lance Archer and Jake the Snake made their return to AEW, so I'm interested to see where they're gonna go from here. Archer with a little bit of a new look, wearing all white gear, got his hair dyed white. So yeah, good to see Archer back on TV. We found out we're going to get Brock versus Omos at WrestleMania. We found that out in the VIP lounge. After which MVP got the crap kicked out of him by Brock Lesnar, but I don't think that's a surprise. Finn Balor challenged Edge for Mania. I think everybody pretty much saw that coming. I'm curious to find out if we're going to see the Demon. I don't think we will. I think Bray has more or less retired the Demon for now anyway. I don't know if heel Demon would work. I think the Demon is too well liked, so I don't know if heel Demon would work in WWE. But I guess we'll see. I could be wrong. Wouldn't be the first time. So, but yeah, Edge and Finn Balor WrestleMania. And then we found out The Miz is going to be hosting WrestleMania. Okay. I don't know why WrestleMania always has to have a host. I don't get that part, but it is what it is. It's WrestleMania. It's just another thing, I guess, for WrestleMania. And yeah, after we found that out, Seth Rollins came out, a little bit of an interruption during Miz TV, laid the Miz out, took his cell phone and proceeded to FaceTime Logan Paul and challenged him to be at Raw next week. And obviously, again, this is most likely leading to a WrestleMania match between Seth Rollins and Logan Paul. And as much as I hate Logan Paul as a human being, I can't, I said it last week, I can't take anything away from his skills. It is obvious he has put in work to learn the craft. He takes it seriously. It's not a joke. And he can do some good stuff in the ring. I can't take any of that away from him. I still don't like him, but, he's fun to watch in the ring. John Cena going to be on Raw this upcoming week, so that should be interesting. A rare John Cena appearance. I'm wondering if he's gonna have some kind of involvement in WrestleMania. So I'm sure we'll find that out probably this coming week. I'm sure he'll come out, get on the microphone, somebody will come out and interrupt him, and that'll lead to something. We'll have to see. And getting back to some AEW news, Orange Cassidy and Danhausen won the tag team battle royale on Dynamite this week, so they are entered into the tag team title match coming up at Revolution. So I'm going to get into that card right now. Like I talked about a little while ago, we got Christian Cage versus Jungle Boy Jack Perry in a no-holds-barred match. I think this match is going to be really good between these two. I mean, Jungle Boy, he is one of those pillars that they talk about all the time in AEW. He is, and he's already said 2023 is when he wants to win his first singles title, and I can definitely see that happening. I mean, still a very young guy, but if he sticks with AEW, he is going to be one of their top guys. Then we've got a Trios Championship match, the Elite taking on the House of Black. That match has the potential to steal the show with all those guys. I mean, you got Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews taking on Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. This is going to be a good match. I don't think there's any way it can't be a good match. But Jungle Boy and Christian, I got to go with Jungle Boy for that one. For the Trios titles, it's a tough call. I want to say the House of Black, but I have a feeling the Elite is going to retain. So that's going to be my pick. I'm picking the Elite to retain the Trios titles. For the AEW Women's World Championship, Jamie Hayter defending in a triple threat match against Saraya and Ruby Soho. I want to see Ruby Soho win this match. That is my pick. I want Ruby Soho to win this match. I want to see Ruby Soho as the Women's World Champion. I think a lot of AEW fans do as well. So, I mean, it'd be cool to see Saraya as a champion again, but I'm going with Ruby Soho in this one. Then we've got singles match between Chris Jericho and Ricky Starks. If you saw a couple weeks ago, Starks kind of used a little bit of a Jedi mind trick on Chris Jericho and got him to sign this match where the Jericho Appreciation Society is banned from ringside. So if that is the case, if it stays that way, I've got to go with Ricky Starks for this one. I mean, Jericho, he's pretty much made a living out of putting the younger guys over in AEW. I mean, he's done it for Action Andretti. Now this program with Ricky Starks. I got to pick Starks in this one. Then we've got Wardlow challenging Samoa Joe for the TNT Championship. Of course, Wardlow is the one that Joe originally beat for the TNT title, lost it to Darby Allin, got it back from Darby Allin. Now Wardlow finally gets his rematch. Wardlow's another one. He is going to be a top-tier guy for AEW going into the future. I mean, the way that he has been built since he started in AEW as MJF's bodyguard. And plus I've seen and known Wardlow since before he started in AEW, so I've seen much of his career evolution, and the guy is just damn good. So I'm picking Wardlow in this to get back the AEW TNT Championship. Then we have a Texas Death Match. As if we needed that kind of stipulation for Jon Moxley versus Hangman Page. Yes, there will be blood. I mean, it seems like Moxley bleeds in every match he has. Don't know if it's actually planned that way. If so, I don't know if it's really necessary, but it is what it is. So this is going to be brutal. I mean, these guys have made a career out of beating the living shit out of each other for the last few months. So this is not going to be any different, and I would assume this is going to be the big blow-off for this rivalry. So, just knockdown, drag-out, bloodbath is my prediction for this one. And I'm going to go with Hangman in this one for some reason. Again, Hangman, another AEW original, one of the founding members of that roster, so I gotta go with Hangman Page for the Texas Death Match. Then we've got a 4-way tag team match for the AEW tag team titles. The Guns, the current champions, defending against the Acclaimed, Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett, and Orange Cassidy and Danhausen. Believe it or not, I am gonna go with the Guns to retain. Of course, the Acclaimed have, Billy Gunn in their corner, Daddy Ass as he's known now. I don't know. Again, could be wrong. Wouldn't be the first time, but I think this is where we see Daddy Ass turn on the Acclaimed and go back with his sons and find out this has just been one big swerve from the beginning, to get the Guns in the position to win the tag team titles. So I'm going to go with the Guns to retain. That's just my gut feeling on this one. And then the main event, 60-minute Iron Man match for the AEW World Championship. MJF defending against Bryan Danielson. This has been building for weeks. Danielson has had to go through some pretty hefty opponents on the way to this. MJF put the stipulation on him. He had to win every week for like a month straight in order to get the match, and then MJF puts a bounty on Danielson. Danielson's got a shoulder injury. He's paying people to go after the shoulder and just injure him to the point of not being able to wrestle at Revolution. So just a really good story, and I almost hate to say it, but I gotta go with MJF to retain. I just have a feeling that title is going to stay on MJF for a long time. Honestly, I'd like to see Wardlow be the one to eventually beat him for it. I think that would kind of bring their story full circle. So obviously we're going to have to wait and see on that part, but I'm going with MJF to retain. Obviously through some kind of underhanded means. I mean, it's an Iron Man match, so whoever wins the most falls is the winner after the 60 minutes, and I think we all know MJF is not above taking a disqualification or two if it will get him an advantage to where he can pick up a few quick pinfalls or something like that. So that's my pick for that one, MJF to retain the AEW World Championship against Bryan Danielson. So right now we're going to find out what's going on the independent scene in pro wrestling. I'm going to throw it over to Charlie G, and he is here with your Indie Cut.
I don't know if you like podcasts or if you don't like podcasts, but damn it, the Indie Cut with Charlie G. If you don't like podcasts, you're about to like podcasts, go watch the Indie Cut with Charlie G, damn it. It's the finest podcast amongst all podcasts.
Thank you, Tom, and Hall of Fame Briscoe Brothers. And hey there, wrestling friends, I'm Charlie G with this week's Indie Cut. We begin with the New Japan CMLL Fantastic Mania show highlights. So I'll just go through the remaining shows as quickly as I can. Thursday, February 23rd, night 2. We had El Desperado, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Ultimo Guerrero defeat Sorcerer, Magia Blanca, and Show. And then in a relay match, Atlantis Jr. and Templar defeated Mystic and Flyer Jr. Friday, the 24th, day 3. Carbonario, Show, Templario defeated Hiroshi Tanahashi, Fujita, and Okumura. Then they had an interfaction tag tournament matches. So we had Bushi and Titan defeat Dulce Garnia and Rey Kamina. And then there was Atlantis Jr. and Ultimo Guerrero defeat Magia Blanca and Valador Jr. Sunday, day 4. So the tournament third place match was Magia Blanca and Valador Jr. defeat Dulce Garnia and Rey Kamina. And then the final match was Atlantis Jr. and Ultimo Guerrero defeating Bushi and Titan. Monday the 27th, day 5. Bushi, Hiromu Takahashi, and Tetsuya Naito defeated Carbonario, El Desperado, and Taguchi. Valador Jr. defeated Templario. And for the CMLL World Welterweight title, Champion Titan defeated Soberano Jr. And on what I believe is the final night, Tuesday, February 28th, the 6th night, Tiger Mask defeated Villano 3, El Hijo del Villano 3. Soberano Jr. defeated Hachario. El Desperado, Templario, and Valador Jr. defeated Carbonario, Master Wado, and Ultimo Guerrero. And in main event, it was Mystical defeating Atlantis Jr. So enough of them. We'll go on to regular indie shows. And Friday, February 24th, Rev Pro live in Cardiff. Francisco Akira defeated Leon Slater. Southside Women's title, champion Danny Luna defeated Sky Smithson. And for the Rev Pro Undisputed British Cruiserweight title, champion Robbie X defeated Harrison Bennett by referee's decision. And the main event was Will Ospreay defeating Big Damo. Back here in the States, and Ladies Night Out Triple Shot Show 1 from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. For the Imperial Pro Women's title, champion Riley Rocket defeated Kylie Alexa. Kenzie Page defeated Brittany Jade. Dream Girl Ellie defeated Ella Envy. For the OVW Women's title, La Rosa Negra defeated champion Solance Royal by DQ. And in the Ladies Night Out title match, champion Janai Kai defeated Jada Stone. To Saturday, February 25th, and Stardom. We had Maria May and Mina Sirikawa defeating Mai Sakurai and Tekla. Julia Himeka and Maika defeated Momo Watanabe, Natsuka Toro, and Ruaka. Then there was Azumi, Saga Kamatani, and Yutami Hayashita took on Mizuki, Kaguma, and Mai Iwatani to a 15-minute draw. That was an excellent match. from what I remember of the show. Amy Sarai, Mirai, and Suri defeated Natsupoi, Tam Nakano, and Waka Tsukiyama. Another fine match between those 6. To France and RIXE Catch, so Rixie Catch episode 12. This was live on Twitch TV, so check that out if you can. There was a tournament. So semifinal matches were Connor Mills defeating David Francisco, and Agile Blanc defeated Antoine Bernard, and in their main event was Will Ospreay defeating Tristan Archer. So cool to see some old WWE guys taking on Will Ospreay. To England and One Pro Wrestling, No Turning Back, and this was taped. So this was a fun show. I wish I could have saw it. Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz defeating Leon Slater and Man Like the Reese for the All or Nothing triple threat match. Session Moth Martina defeated Lizzie Evo and Ruby Soho. So Ruby was actually in England. Cara Noir defeated David Richards. In an Extreme Rules match, Mark Haskins defeated Rhino. Taya Valkyrie defeated Tonga. I'm going to go with that. Nathan Cruz defeated John Morrison. And in their main event was Will Ospreay defeating Robbie X. So very cool to see there. Back here in the States and Blitzkrieg Pro, Plastic Cup Politics on IWTV. So we had the Miracle Ones of Dustin Waller, Ichiban, and Kylon King defeating Perry Von Vicious, Rip Bison, and Ryan Mooney. TNT of Taro Hughes and Terrence Hughes defeating Angelo Carter and Jay George. The Hughes boys had their father Devon in their corner, so that was nice to see there. TJ Crawford defeated Kevin Blackwood in a no DQ tag match. Gangrel and Leary defeated Stephen Azure and Steve Somerset. And for the Blitzkrieg Pro Bedlam title, champion Andy Brown defeated Allie Ketch. Down to North Carolina and Deadlock Pro Wrestling, you already know, 2023. For their tag titles, champions Dominic Guarini and Kevin Koo defeated Gabriel Sky, Tristan Tai, as well as Aiden Argro and Danger Kid. For the Princess Tag Team titles from Tokyo Pro, champions Heidi Howitzer and Max Impaler defeated Jada Stone and Rochelle Rose. For the Deadlock Pro Women's World title, champion Emily Sakura defeated Sumi Sakai. And the Deadlock Pro World's title versus career Carolina Warfare match, champion Lucky Ali defeated Colby Carino. So as I said before, Colby signed with NXT, so that was probably his last independent match for a while, or for quite a long time. So it's his way of getting out, right? Up to Bloomington, Minnesota, and Midwest All-Star Wrestling team with Steel Domain Wrestling to put on Supercard 3 for their invitation title match. Richard Powers defeated champion Ying Mao. For their women's title contendership match, Kelsey Manola defeated Heather Reckless. Tootie Lynn defeated Lena Solana. For the NWA World TV title, champion Thomas Lattimore defeated Garrison Creed. And in their main event, Billy Gunn and Mitch Paradise defeated Brick McCarthy and Chadwick Wentworth III. So Billy Gunn actually got to wrestle. To Sunday, February 26th, Stardom Showcase number 4. And a Captain's Fall 6-1 tag. Natsupoi, Saki, and Captain Tam Nakano defeated Miura May, Mina Sirikawa, and Captain Waka Tsukiyama. In a hardcore 6-woman tag, Julia, Himeka, and Micah took on Hirogi Kanumi, Risa Sera, and Susie Suzuki to a 12-minute no contest. So can't wait to see how that goes. In a UWF rules match, Siri defeated Saki Kashima. In a 3-way 9-woman tag elimination match, Hazuki Kaguma and Mayu Iwatani defeated Mo Watanabe, Natsuka Toro, and Starlight Kid, as well as Miyu Yamasaki, Sayu Kanatami, and Yutami Hayashita. To England and Rev Pro live in Birmingham. For the Southside Women's title, champion Danny Luna defeated Maria De La Rosa. Francesco Akira defeated Kid Lycos II. And Will Ospreay defeated Luke Jacobs. Still in England. And we have Progress, Chapter 150, When the Man Comes Around. Nick Wayne defeated Callum Newman. For the Progress Atlas title, Ricky Knight Jr. defeated champion Big Damo to become the champion. Leo Rush defeated Man Like DeReese. Millie McKenzie defeated Lizzie Evo. And in a non-title no DQ match, Tom Dawkins defeated Spike Trivet. Back here in the States, and we have Beyond Wrestling, Perfection or Vanity from Worst to Mass. Channing Thomas defeated Thomas Santel. Ray Jazz defeated Ricky Shane Page. At the end of the match, Ricky Shane Page said after 22 years he has signed a promotional deal with MLW. So, congrats to him. After a long 22 years of wrestling, he got a deal with a pretty major company, a TV company, you might say. Allie Ketch defeated Love Doug. Little Mean Kathleen and Teddy Goods defeated Allie Ketch and Love Doug. Teddy told Trevor Outlaw give his gimmick back. In a tag match, Gabriel Sky and Tristan Ty defeated Jay Lyon and Midas Black. Max Caster, the heel Max Caster, defeated CPA. Willow Nightingale defeated Dan Barry. Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Ryan Clancy. And for the IWTV Independent Wrestling Tag Titles, Dustin Waller and Kylon King defeated champions Dominic Guarini and Kevin Koo to become new champions. To New Jersey and Expect the Unexpected, Live in a Bottle. This was a fun show. I got to see pretty much all of it. Ken Broadway defeated Alec Price, Kevin Blackwood, and Steve Pena. Becca defeated Ultraviolet. For the Jericho Cruise Oceanic title, champion Matt Cardona defeated Danny Demento. Pretty interesting match there. Vargas defeated the One Commanders. The Kirks of Brandon Kirk and Casey Kirk defeated Yokai and Janai Kai and Yoya. For the IWTV Independent Wrestling World title, champion Matt Tremont defeated Akira. And two teams I'd like to see at Warrior Wrestling. Big Boss Smuju and KZY, Kazi defeated the SAT of Joel Maximo and Jose Maximo. Awesome match between these four. Big Boss and Kizi is from Dragon Gate, so check them out when you can. They are a fun tag team to watch. For the ETU Keated East title, then a contendership match, tables, ladders, and chairs. Marcus Mathers defeated Jordan Oliver in 32 minutes in a very bloody TLC match for an indie show between these two. Check that out if you can. They put on a great show there. To St. Louis, Missouri, Glory Pro Wrestling Anniversary 6. For the Crown of Glory contendership match, Davey Richards defeated Raheem De La Suede. Heather Reckless defeated Tootie Lynn. Dad to Dad, Ethan Price and Warhorse defeated Jake Something, Cody Lane, and Shane Saber. For the Princess Tag Team titles, champion Heidi Howitzer and Max Impaler defeated Blair Onyx and Jody Threat. So that's pretty cool to see. And then for the Crown of Glory title, Camaro Jackson retained versus Myron Reed. To Tuesday, February 28th, Tokiyoshi Pro, Hyper Michelle and Soka Nakajima defeated Pam Harajuku and Yuki Kanfuku. Maki Ito and Miyu Yamashita defeated Ruanako and Hikari Noa. Mizuki and Yuki Sakazaki defeated Kaya Terabami and Nao Kakuda. And then we had Miyu Watanabe, Raku, and Yuki Aino defeating Mahiro Kiru, Rika Tatsumi, and Suzumi. And then finally, in Canada, we had Capital City Championship, Savage Streets, and IWTV. So Evil Uno defeated Marcus Mathers. For their C4 tag team titles, McCray Martin and Shane Hawk defeated Aiden Argro and the Danger Kid. Puff and Ricky Wildley and Dominic Guarini, champions Dominic Guarini and Kevin Koo to become new champions. So that's 2 titles Guarini and Koo lost over the last week. So I wonder if they're going to be signed somewhere soon, because that's kind of what happens when you're on the Indies and you lose 2 tag titles. Sounds like something might be happening. But they did retain in demand, so we'll wait and see. LuFisto defeated Vanessa Craven for their Underground title in a 6-way match. James Stone defeated Jimmy Lloyd, Jody Threat, champion Joshua Bishop, Kobe Durst, and Ming Zhao Li to become the champion. Alec Price defeated Bo Belmar, Jordan Oliver, and Sheldon Jean. And for their C4 title, champion Kevin Blackwood defeated Joey Janela. Whew. So that's a wrap for me until next week. I hope you enjoyed the cut. Thank you for watching or listening. Remember out there, take care, keep safe, be kind to everyone, and enjoy your wrestling. Enjoy this busy weekend of wrestling. I know I will. Lots to watch on Saturday, and then AEW on Sundays. So enjoy it, and back to you, Tom.
All right, thank you, Charlie. So right now we're going to talk about who I think had the best week in pro wrestling, and I'm going to do that in the top 5. So first up on the top 5, or actually first and second, I guess you could say, is Becky and Lita. Again, winning the women's tag team championships. You know, Lita making her return to the ring, and getting that one more championship run that she said she's been wanting. Third on the top 5, Powerhouse Hobbs, again winning that Face of the Revolution ladder match and earning a TNT title match. Now, earlier when I was talking about, I said it was against Samoa Joe. I forgot Joe's fighting Wardlow this weekend, so it could be Powerhouse Hobbs and Wardlow going at it next week. Either way, that's going to be a slugfest. whoever the TNT champion is, it's going to be sick. Number 4, this is not going to be popular, but Dominic Mysterio. I mean, just Dominic has become a serious heat seeker. You know, since turning heel. A lot of people say he's got that go-away heat, but you know what? He's found his niche, at least for the moment, and he's good at making people hate him. He's an annoying little shit. You know, that's exactly the point. So it's working for him. He's getting the reactions that he's supposed to be getting, whether the fans like it or not, whether they want to say, oh no, people legitimately hate him. Well, yeah, good. They're still turning on their TV or paying money for a ticket to watch him get his ass beat, you know, and it hasn't happened yet because he does the typical heel thing, runs away like a coward, and you know it's gonna pay off at some point when he does have to get in the ring with Ray. And number 5 on my top 5 this week is Jungle Boy. You know, I talked about that promo, him in the graveyard digging the grave for Christian. Didn't say a word, but it was a very Undertaker-esque promo, and it worked. And, Christian's reaction to it made it work even more. You could, he just looked disturbed afterwards and just walked out of the ring without saying a word. So, that's the top 5 for the week. So, coming up next is where I kind of get to play armchair promoter, if you will, and that's called the Fantasy Booker. All right, so my fantasy booker for this week goes back to what I was talking about Kenny Omega potentially going to WWE at some point when his AEW contract is up. I think one of the first matches anybody would want to see in with Kenny Omega in WWE is Kenny Omega versus Seth Rollins. I don't think this match has ever happened before. Honestly, I don't know. I didn't look it up. It just this was one of the first thoughts that popped into my head with the possibility of Omega going to WWE. I mean, Omega and Rollins, that is a WrestleMania main event. I don't care if you like it or not. That is the truth. That is a WrestleMania main event match. That could potentially be a WWE Championship match. I mean, hell, that could be the main event of WrestleMania 40. Who the hell knows what's going to happen in the next year? But that is a very real possibility at this point. So, I mean, Rollins, arguably one of the top wrestlers in the world right now. Kenny Omega, same thing. And I just think these two could put on a hell of a match, just with the things that they can both do in the ring. And, I mean, come on. If you're a wrestling fan, a true wrestling fan, not just a WWE fan or just an AEW fan, if you're a wrestling fan, this match, the thought of this match should make you excited. So that is my fantasy booker for this week. That is a match that I want to see, that we hopefully will see sometime in the not too distant future. Kenny Omega versus Seth Rollins. Like it or not, that would be a hell of a wrestling match. So, to wrap things up this week, I am going to get into a not-so-popular opinion, and I call that my weekly hot take. All right, so my hot take for this week, JR was right. And I will explain. When AEW first started up, one of the first acts that they signed was Jurassic Express. Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, Marco Stunt. And at that time, everybody knew Jungle Boy was Luke Perry's son, but, he only went by Jungle Boy. It's all he was ever called. Well, when he started appearing on TV, JR would consistently refer to him as some variation of his real name and his wrestling name. He'd be Jungle Jack or Jungle Boy Jack Perry, stuff like that, and he caught so much crap for it because he's Jungle Boy. Why is JR dead? And his explanation of it at the time was perfect. He's not going to be called Jungle Boy forever. He was a 21, 22, 23-year-old kid at the time, very early in his career, and JR's been in the wrestling business forever. Since the early 70s. I think he knows what he's talking about when he says, he's not going to be Jungle Boy forever. He's eventually going to, be known for being Jack Perry. And where are we at now? He is Jungle Boy Jack Perry. That is his official moniker. So, JR was right. All the freaking trolls who gave him all kinds of crap every time he said the name Jack Perry on TV. He's breaking kayfabe. He's exposing the business. JR's lost it. JR's senile. JR was right. That's my whole point. JR was right to start calling him Jungle Boy Jack Perry, and that is how he's known now. And even Jungle Boy himself said back then he had no issue with it. He agreed with JR. I can't be Jungle Boy forever. Then again, Shawn Michaels is going on 60 and he's still the Heartbreak Kid. So maybe the Jungle Boy tag will stay with him, but, not likely. He's going to be Jack Perry. He may eventually drop the boy part and just be Jungle Jack Perry or something. Who knows? But point is, JR was right. So, do with that what you will. I just find it ironic that he caught so much crap for that, and now he officially is Jungle Boy Jack Perry. So that's going to wrap things up for this week. Again, I want to thank everybody for watching, listening, and subscribing on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts from. Just look up Catch, Hook, and Shoot. Check out our link tree at linktree/catchhookshoot, or scan this little QR code in the corner next to me. You'll find links to our website, social medias, YouTube, all the podcasting platforms, all that kind of fun stuff. If you want to shoot us an email, it's catchhookshoot@gmail.com. And again, thank you to everybody for watching and listening. Enjoy all the great wrestling coming up this week. Don't miss AEW Revolution coming up on Sunday. We'll be back next week with all the results from that. And thank you again. Hope everybody has a great week, great weekend, and we will talk to you guys soon.